Hi everyone, I'm Shuangshuang. I'd like to share the technologies I have studied and used in the happiness project. I will give a speech in three parts, namely technology overview, technical analysis, use of technology. Before that, I have a great interest in the field of Studio Ghibli. I really appreciate the style, length, and story content of their films, especially the film Spirited Away, which inspired me a lot. So I decided to study them. Then I will mention the frame number of animation, which is a very critical information. In short, Japanese animation is made at 24 fps, so the frame number of Japanese animation is 24 frames per second. But in fact, the content of each frame may be identical. For example, the same picture used two frames, and the third frame changing to the next one.
The basic premise is Castaway on a Desert Island. It's not about how he survives. It's more about who is he really when he's alone in nature, and then later how does he integrate in nature. All the people and the creatures were all drawn by hand, just literally with a pencil on paper. Designing the woman, that proved to be a challenge. With the woman less, it's more subtle. That it's just like a natural law. The design of a woman is more subtle. She had to be attractive, had to have an attractive face, and that's even more challenging. And basically, I spent days and days and days doing drawings, and we found a kind of synthesis, and it took us much longer, much longer than a man. As a child, I noticed in the middle of the night, and if the moon is not too strong, we physically can't see colors. And we can't see the difference between red and blue. Everything is monochrome. And that I found beautiful. That gives that particular ambience at night. And in films, you often have a purplish filter for night scenes. But I thought, wouldn't it be really interesting to really go for the black and white and gray palette for the night scenes? You make your hands black with charcoal and you rub them on paper, and you bring out the grain of the paper and the slight imperfections and the charms of charcoal, and then you scan it and you color it digitally. That was the technique we used, that I used before. You keep the handmade look in the film, and the texture is actually very beautiful, and can be manipulated endlessly digitally if you want to shape it and mold it around shape.
Frame-by-frame animation is a common animation from that decomposes animation actions in consecutive keyframes. That is, dress different content on each frame of timelines and make it play into animation continuously. Then let's talk about the content of science. In 1824, Professor Peter Pease of the University of London, England, discussed a special phenomenon. That is, after seeing an image information, the image will stand on the human retina for a period of time, which is 0.1 until 0.4 seconds, usually 0.34 seconds. The work of the brain is to drive the key actions that have been driven in the animation design. That is, the change process between the original pictures, one by one according to the standard shape of the character, the species, range of action, the number of sheets, and the movement rules. The key-free painting or the standard position is later called the original painting, and the painting with the space between the original painting and the original painting is called the intermediate painting. In animation production, in order to save cost, it is common for most commercial animation sets to use reprise actions, such as the performance of natural phenomena, walking and running. Here you can see the fragments of two films from Studio Ghibli. Their fragments may appear free-skipping or incoherent, but the overall impression has only a simple impact. Next is about the application of this technology in the video field. You can see this case, a set of 16 discs, each displaying an animated representation of one of life's fleeting moments. Believed to be the first animation device, the disease was invented in 1832. Squares, images, circles, a disease with corresponding sleeves. Here's one point to pay attention to when making this design. Just like a frisbee, this requires ways of distinguishing between correctly arranged fruit and those which are passing by. I like to use these forms because they change many standards of visual series and animation language. Some of the restrictions seem extreme, like the direct relationship between space and time. However, they also result in new inventive ways of creating animated squares. I'm going to apply this technology to my project. This is a visual design for a series of activities about family feast to bring happiness to the family. Happiness is embodied through the combination of visualization of different scenes and places. It can be seen that a larger round table was used for family reunions and dinner. A small circle scattered by each portion form a big circle. A small circle scattered by each portrait form a big circle, reflecting the reunions. I designed these three discs to reflect different scenes. This is my reference. Thank you for your listening. Bye.